Hi, everybody. Thank you for joining me right now. I am broadcasting from Vancouver, BC, and I am Luna Sky Diamond. I just want to share with you that I am uploading this video right now because it was a personal commitment with myself because I'm taking a workshop on divine feminine priestesshood, and as part of our homework we had to write down our deepest desires, because our deepest desires are our true soul calling. And at the same time, as part of the exercise, I'm supposed to do something that brings me pleasure every day for at least a week, for as long as this workshop is going to be happening. That actually started on Women's Day. So it's actually quite interesting and beautiful. So I did my homework. I wrote down my deepest desires of my soul, and my deepest desires. The teacher says, not it's like write down your desires, which are your true soul calling, and your desires do not mean your goals. You can have goals and desires. Yes, I know they get a little bit confused, but desires, your deepest desires. So I wrote them down, and I have always had this deepest desire to be in front of the camera in any form. So, as part of this homework that I committed to do for a week, I am supposed to be being Facebook Live here. I was also supposed to start this homework yesterday, but I didn't do it. So that's something that I have to confess. So one of the things that I would like to share with you today is part of the journey that I have been experiencing since I started this workshop 2 days ago, and that includes dancing, meditation, being aware of your breath and your chakras, and basically, how do you say that? Being in communication with your inner self. So the things that I have learned in this workshop are actually quite interesting and beautiful. For instance, my teacher, Leola Antara, is a wonderful priestess in alchemical tools for development and how do you say that? Awakening of consciousness. And she has been doing this for over 30 years or more. I don't know for how long, but she has been my sacred sexuality teacher since 2008, when she introduced me to the Magdalene manuscript. Basically, it's my religion or my philosophy, which is based in sacred sexuality. So one of the things that I have learned about her is like actually quite beautiful, and one of those things is vulnerability, because she has been doing this for, I don't know, for a long freaking time, and right now she's doing this workshop with over 500 women online. And one of the things that she shared in one of her Facebook accounts was that every single time that she gives birth to a new project, she has to give birth herself. And what that meant for her is basically, how do you say, like working through and working with or passing through this demon of self-doubt. Does that sound familiar? So I love that. I love to see my spiritual gurus and the people that I admire in this world showing vulnerability, because that shows me that we are all human and we're all not just like perfect and all, hey, yes. No, of course, self-doubt has to come. And when I see self-doubt in her, and she explained how she worked through it and gave a space for it and and kept going with her project and everything, it's actually quite fantastic and interesting for everybody and for me, because I have a lot of projects as well, and somehow I have always experienced the same. Before I enter into something, there is always that self-doubt thingy going on. So it was actually quite wonderful to know that even the wonderful leaders and everything of our time and pioneers and everything feel self-doubt sometimes, and they are very vulnerable. So I love that. I have not only just experienced that with Leola, but I have experienced that with Bentino Massaro, who is one of another spiritual teacher that I follow and that I have met personally, and I have gone to his retreats. And one of the things that I like about him is also his vulnerability and to express where he is at the time. So even though he is followed by over probably 15,000 people, cutting edge in this lifetime, the wanderers we call ourselves. Still, he goes through many phases, and so many phases could be just total withdrawal and want to be within himself and be in a state of silence. So for instance, he has moved now from having a daily talk and a daily speech to just holding silence retreats. And I totally get it. I totally understand that. He just wants to be in samadhi all the time, in just connection. And well, that is quite beautiful to see that everybody goes through their ups and downs. With their own projects, as successful as these people show to be, they show that they can also allow themselves to feel like some sort of like, oh, fuck it, I'm just gonna go ahead and do it. I'm just gonna go ahead and do it, like somebody has to do it. So that is when miracles occur. And I'm just sharing these because I feel like that. I feel like that sometimes as well. What else would I like to share with you? Things that I have learned this week. Yeah, I have learned on this week that compassion heals. And I have also learned this week that through this workshop and meditation and going into inner self, I have come to realize and have come to terms with and accepting and loving the fact of the following statement, and that it is: sexuality ignites my spiritual fire. And so, thank you, my audience, for listening to me today. My homework is done, and looking forward for my next live video tomorrow and see what happens. I love you all. Cheers.